All right, everybody, welcome back to the Michelle and Tony show. For this particular episode, we're not going to, spend much time on it. We're just going to basically go straight into a topic that, Tony and I were basically contemplating on yesterday, and it's the problem of, it's the thing of starting, right? Let me just give a quick, kind of a quick intro on this thing now. Like starting is not basically like starting. The thing about starting is that nobody actually knows how they started. For example, if you ask me how I started, right? I don't know exactly how I started, right? I just basically went at it. Do you understand? And then if you notice all the everything that I'm doing, let's say all the blogs I'm writing or all the podcasts I'm recording or everything that I'm telling the person, right? I've never told anybody how to start exactly, right? I only just tell them what to do when they do start. But like when it comes to the problem of starting and all that, like I don't know. Tony, what do you think?
Well, you know, when we were talking about this topic yesterday,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, for me, what it was for me was I remember having to do, having to be like find that normality in just having like if we talk about starting before you start, you have to have the right mindset, like you said.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of starting basically, and that's having the right mindset. Training your mind. How do you train your mind? Was like you have to first come to the to a point where it is normal for you to it's normal for you to live a life that is like you're just always on your own. You find peace. You just always being around you,
Around
being
us by
by
yourself.
yourself
Yeah.
basically. Basically, you find peace by just being by yourself. You can be by yourself for a long time, and like you're not phased. You're not looking for what to do or anything. You're not also what is it called getting worked up or getting distracted by anything, but you're like just thinking, right? You're making a meaning of yourself,
Yeah.
right? Evaluating yourself, like you're just finding peace within yourself. You're starting to see yourself as like what have I been doing. How basically would I say started. Really, I won't say I started, but I only originally had always been this kind of person that used to talk to himself too much. I used to talk to myself,
Mm.
right? And then it was just like for me it was a normal thing. But it wasn't that I was talking to myself on like evaluation on that basis. It was that I was always talking to myself on maybe something happened and I felt like I did not react in the way that I would have wanted. Maybe I
Yeah.
did it just for peace to be. But then I'll go by myself and then I will just basically play out what I was supposed to do. Like I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. So I felt so basically talking to myself and just being around nobody was really like it was more comfortable for me, right? I was very much comfortable and I didn't see it as anything that was very hard to do. So then there was this turning point where reflection, the idea of reflection came about. You still have to sit in silence and evaluate yourself, and that was where the turning point came about for me. That was where the turning point came about. So the idea now changed from sitting with yourself and just basically discussing or talking about things that are like no meaning
Yeah.
to now evaluating yourself and seeing life from how life is to be seen, right?
Yeah.
So it basically trained my mind, basically trained me in a certain way that now I started thinking in like the way like I am today. Basically, that was basically the beginning of how this journey started. Basically, that turning point of taking what I felt was normal and implementing what is supposed to be. That is the reflection and the evaluation phase with what I already termed as normal. That's which is sitting down with myself and just like sitting down with myself and just
Mm.
being comfortable
Mm.
just alone, right? That was what's it called? What really helped me and that turning point of reflection and then you know starting to see the world as it's meant to be. So that was how I basically started, right?
Yeah, like do you like have an answer to this question? Like how do you know when you have passed the starting phase? Because personally, from what you said, even from what I realized myself,
Mm,
starting is not like it's not like a 1 day something.
yes.
It's not also like a 1 week something. I don't necessarily know how long it is, but like how do you now know that okay, I've gone past the starting phase and I'm inside, now I'm now like living like
I believe that this starting phase would like there is no I don't think it's a phase that will be gone because I feel like I think every day you're still starting. Like there's still something new to learn from. Right? There's still something new that you're going to learn. Now one thing I understood from this my, having to start thinking and start like evaluating and my brain started becoming this way was that I knew that every single day of your life was you learn something, right?
yeah,
So that's just basically restarting. Like every day is just like a restart. There's no end or there's no to be fair, there's no um would I say end until you die, right? That's the only end. But for as long as you're still alive and
yeah,
every day you keep on waking up, you just keep on restarting. There's no okay, this is the starting phase. The starting phase just keeps on playing itself every single day because you're going to be learning things, different things every single day. Your brain keeps on getting it just keeps on growing, right?
yeah.
Yes, in as much as you started thinking in a certain way that was, you know,
New to you.
new to you,
Yeah.
there are still times where your brain, your mindset will obviously like transform. And then it will not be as okay, that time when you felt like it was new, now you're seeing that okay, that was that stage. So it's just basically your brain just keeps on changing. So it's not like as if there's an end to the starting phase. There's always a restart. It's like it's always on a loop that's you just keep on learning every single day. So
Yeah, yeah. I
it
mean,
doesn't end.
I mean,
That phase doesn't
for,
end.
for me, I like your answer. Like, it's very similar to what you say. Like, for me, it's like when you've gotten past this thing is somehow phase. Like when you now see what used to be abnormal
Mm,
as now being normal. For me, that is when I now say, okay, I've gone past the starting phase. Like when you can just like stay.
yes.
You know how like two of us used to talk every day. Like it's abnormal to some people, but like for us it's just normal. And that is when I can now see you have gone past the starting phase. You
Yes.
got some people cannot like embark on the kind of conversations we used to talk with because it is not normal for them, right? But like us now that used to talk like this almost every day, for us it's like basically kind of normal.
Normal.
So yeah, both answers are very, very sharp. I mean, and the thing about staying with yourself is one thing I know about is that like all of us, every human being, we have this infinite intelligence, like this intuition inside us, right?
Yes.
That is why sometimes you just stay and the best ideas can come to your head. Sometimes you just stay and the answer to something can come to your head,
Yes.
not from anywhere but from within, right?
Mm,
It's just like those things are those flickers of the kind of power that is within you. You understand? And to tap into that power now, you basically need. I think what you need is silence,
mm,
right? There's this thing I told somebody. I told the person that I cannot tell you like how to have good ideas, but I can tell you how not to have good ideas. If you don't want to have good ideas, never spend time with yourself. Always be in loud, noisy environment. Like it's not necessarily being in loud, noisy environments, right? It is you being part of the noise. Like I can stay in noisy environment and still think, but like it's now you basically being like part
part
of
of
the
the
noise.
noise.
So like yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we can basically tell you everything, but we can't necessarily tell you how to start. But like starting is just there's no way to start. Do you understand? Like there
Mm,
is no particular way to start. Starting does not have the way it looks like. That is why nobody can perfectly. I can't perfectly tell you how I started. I just did. I can't necessarily say how. I think for me, Tony Zone was talking to himself. I think for me it was basically asking questions, like listening more and then asking questions, listening more and then asking questions. That is why if you knew some of my closest friends in secondary school, there's one particular thing I like saying that time. I like telling them like, I wish I could just like meet a very wise man and sit down with him for 2 hours and basically ask him all the questions that I have to ask. But like all those questions is now basically what makes life. So you can't get the answers by sitting down with a wise man. So going on in life, I started figuring it out one by one, one by one, one by one. So like just find your own way, find the particular way to
Yeah,
start. And
I think it's normal for you to start getting curious. This, the thing about this phase, or I say when you start to think, right, you start to get in that zone, like that normality of finding things that were abnormal,
yeah,
normal. That period, you're going to see yourself randomly asking questions that you never actually thought of asking. You start seeing yourself speaking out, talking about things that you never actually saw. You start seeing yourself questioning things that were normal, right? You
no, I
start seeing
know,
yourself
yeah.
questioning things that were normal, and you start to ask yourself like, what is going on, and you just get so much curious. Like the curiosity in you just keeps on growing, right? And it was very, very normal. It was the same thing for me because I think, and it's going to be the same thing for everybody because now you are getting to see that, like you said, see what you see also as abnormal become normal. So the
Normal, yeah.
questions that were, you basically question things that were
Normal.
normal,
Yeah.
right? Because now it's everything is different. Every time it's turned upside down,
Yeah.
what you've started to like feel, what you started to do, engage in that the abnormality of this world, basically, is now a normal for you. Now you question the normal of this world. Do you understand?
Mm.
So that one is that's like the very like is a very what is it called? Like normal stuff. You start to get curious, start to ask, look for questions, answers to the questions that you have. Then, like you said, you said in your secondary school there was this friend that you said that your friends did that. You said you would love to sit down with a wise man, and
Just asking questions
yeah,
and all that.
I remember when I was speaking to a friend of mine, and then I told this friend of mine that I said wise people, like the idea of being wise, like why do we call them wise people? Like, is it because they read all the books in the world or what? I feel like the idea of being wise has to come from you. Like, these people didn't go and ask questions. They were able to answer the questions
That they ask them.
that they asked by themselves. Like, that's how they became wise, right? Because you're smart you're a smart person. What I tell my smart person is if you're able to ask questions and somebody answers it, then
Yeah.
you gain knowledge, right? But then wise people answer the questions by
I mean, because
yeah,
if you actually think about it, if a question can actually resurface from within,
yeah,
it means that the answer is also within. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just basically like, and the thing about wise people, their answer is never the same as the other wise person. It's always like two
Exactly.
different, like they're always different answers because
Yeah.
everybody has their own different, unique sense
And at the
of.
end of the day, all of them are right.
And exactly,
All of them are right.
that's just basically how wise people think, and that's just the difference between wise and what is it called, smart. Smart people ask questions to people and get knowledge from them,
From them. Yeah.
right? Wise people get knowledge from within. So it was that was like I was just like, so you don't need to see an old person and then because he has lived so long for this world, you assume that he's wise, maybe because he has seen life. I mean, you can sit down with a young lad, someone that's even younger than you, and